Good morning, everybody. Star Spookfest here. What's going on? Just been watching some stuff, and I have a few things to say about this guy over here. Another thing about Travis Walton UFO abduction. Um, yeah, some of this stuff has been said to be a hoax. Yeah, I'll get into it a little bit, but I do have a lot of other things too to say. Good morning. Hope you're doing good on this Thursday. So, I might go out tonight. Not sure if I'm going to go to Fort Monroe tonight or not. It looks like it might be the only night I have where it's good weather to go out and investigate and try and repeat my disembodied footsteps walking up to me at the old Fort Monroe here in Virginia. So, other than that, I was watching the Patterson-Gimlin tapes and how those were hoaxed. Now, Bigfoot, in that, Patty, the Bigfoot, a guy named Bob came out and said he wore a suit, a Bigfoot suit, and that the whole thing was faked. And there are books the year before, Patterson and Gimlin, or one of them, I think Gimlin or Robertson Patterson, I forget, but they put out a book about Bigfoot. So they are saying that there was a whole thing on Casper's site that I watched with Jon Stewart, and he was talking about how they glued horsehair to a pair of waders to go fishing, like the waders that go up to your waist, and the feet were different. Like underneath the feet there's a white patch, and that's actually part of like the booties like you would have on a onesie for like a little kid or something. There's other problems with the Patterson-Gimlin tape. It does look like a person walking. There are some lines on the hip that you can see that it's not. The boobs are a big part of that, and they said they stuffed the suit and even put some sticks in the arms to make the arms longer. So I'm thinking Patty is a hoax. I'll even put some links for a video you can watch. The Shape did a great video on it, how it is a hoax, and that doesn't mean I don't believe in Bigfoot anymore. I do believe we have some evidence for Bigfoot and cryptids like that. There are some castings of footprints with dermal ridges. Maybe the Patterson-Gimlin footprint, it does have one of those, indentations or the arch of the foot. But there are other ones like handprints and different things with fingerprints or even footprints, the dermal ridges, that seem impossible to fake. I mean, maybe they can be, but I still believe there are Bigfoot out there. The other case that I want to talk about, so yeah, I'll put a link for the Bigfoot one to that it is a hoax, and check out The Shape. The Travis Walton UFO abduction case. If you don't know about Travis Walton case, bunch of loggers out in Arizona logging these woods, and Travis Walton and 5 guys in a truck pull over, see a fire in the sky. There's a famous movie called The Fire in the Sky. Travis gets out of the truck, hit with a beam of light, and abducted. The guys drove off when he got hit with the beam of light, and he disappeared for 5 days. When he came back after 5 days, they even lie detector tested these guys. They thought that these guys might have murdered Travis out in the woods. They all passed a lot of the first lie detector tests. There are some say that Travis even failed, did you get abducted onto a UFO? And he didn't pass that part of the polygraph. Some of the guys didn't pass some other polygraphs. There was also a reward for any close encounters that could be proven, and there was a $100,000 reward. These guys, I think, got $5,000 or something for their story of a fire in the sky in the woods. That is one of the explanations, that they were going for money. But another reason that they said this might be a hoax, this is one of those cases that I believed my whole life. I mean, for 45, 50 years, these guys stuck to their story. There's a deathbed confession from Steve, I can't remember his last name, but he was the youngest man on the crew. He actually said that this was all a hoax. Some people are saying there was a fire tower out in the woods, and as soon as they pulled up, a spotlight shot down and lit up Travis, and that's what they saw, and that Travis and his brother-in-law were setting that up to be able to get the money and trick their friends and have a convincing UFO story. But a lot of the other guys said they saw a UFO floating in the sky. I still tend to believe that that is something happened there that is more than just a hoax. But now looking at some of this evidence, two of the guys that witnessed it came forward and said, yeah, it was a hoax. They set that up to get money and for the story and stuff like that. I love this kind of stuff. And of course, I believed for a little while the Patterson-Gilman tapes, the Bigfoot tape, that was real when I was younger. Then I started watching it more, and a few years ago I was like, it's probably just that guy Bob in a suit, after seeing all this information come out. And then the Travis Walton one, I believed my whole life. He's done interviews, he's been on Area 52, he's been on other people's podcasts, he's talked about this story, he's even gone back to the spot and retold the story with some of the other guys who witnessed it. This stuff seemed like this is legit. He disappeared for 5 days. The cops got involved, there was lie detectors, there's all this info on, yes, something really happened. Now, other than all that, if it's fake, if it's real, I'll put some links in for the two videos that I watched of the Bigfoot and the Travis Walton cases being fake, and there is some pretty damning evidence, but I still tend to think the Travis Walton UFO case might have some weight to it still, because Steve, the youngest logger, actually was offered to come out and say it was a hoax, like $10,000 about 40 years ago. They offered him money to come out and say it's a hoax. Now, is this people offering money to say it's a hoax so that it's, cover it up to get rid of the story and make people, it's a psyop, and to confuse people and to get people thinking, all right, everything's fake, because they're taking the main cases of Bigfoot or UFO abduction, and those are the big ones, at least some of the big ones, and just saying they're fake. But I still tend to believe there could be Bigfoot cryptids out there. Maybe Patty isn't real, but there are other pieces of evidence for it. I mean, look at Les Stroud. Some of his research on Bigfoot is very interesting. And then, finding Bigfoot, there's TV shows and they find nests and things like that, and different tree structures and odd animal sounds. I think it's the Sierra sounds or something like that. There are vocalizations that we cannot figure out, that we have no other animal like making that kind of call. We have no idea of where some of these calls are coming from. The UFO stuff really hits home for me too, because I've had UFO experiences. Me and my sister and 3 friends on a beach in Maine. My first UFO, giant orange orb over a lake, so low that you could see the reflection off the lake. I even waved at it. My sister has come on alive and talked about it and told her version of the story, and it's the same story I tell. And it happened to us. I've seen other UFOs too. It's not just once that I've seen a UFO. Now, some other stuff going on in the weird world of paranormal here. We have the moon mission coming up. They just reinstated the moon mission Artemis 2 to go to the backside of the moon. They're doing a scouting mission, and now NASA is saying that they're going to put a $20 billion nuclear moon base. They're going right to that. I think they were going to build a space station for a waypoint in between the moon and Earth, but now they're just going right to the moon. They're going to build a facility on the moon, a nuclear base, so that it has power. And I'm not sure exactly, but that will be Artemis 3. They're saying by 2030 we'll be back on the moon and with a base and all this. I hope that's true. Now, another thing I've noticed, this has another thing to do with Bigfoot. All these meteors, some of them are green, some are just regular. Over Ohio, one exploded, a 7-ton meteor came down, crashed, and blew up, and you can see video of the houses shaking. People have found fragments of it. They still haven't shown an impact point on that one. I don't know why. but one in Texas went through somebody's roof. So these meteors coming down might have had to do with something 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas went by a while ago, and Earth went through its comet tail, the leftover comet tail. So I was thinking maybe some of the debris left over in the tail of the comet from 3i Atlas was coming down on Earth. Because now we got California, Michigan, Oregon. It's a lot more states and a lot more widespread where people are seeing these comets coming down. Now the one in Ohio, last week I was looking, and there were 8 different reports, actual reports of Bigfoot being seen. Running through, street, going through across the street. Somebody seen it in the woods. Somebody seen another one. 8 of them in 6 days, right where that comet came down and crashed. So a lot of these reports of orbs in the sky or UFOs in the sky coincide with Bigfoot being spotted and seen. All right, so maybe there is a connection. Some people have the connection that aliens are demons, or maybe Bigfoot is interdimensional being, and that's why we don't find his body or bones or anything. But I mean, going out in the woods, have you ever seen a skeleton of a bear? Do we ever really I mean, people might find one once in a great while, but do you ever really find any bones of a skeleton of a bear or even a deer? I've gone shed hunting, or that's antler hunting, and I've spent 8 hours looking for just the racks of deer in the woods. Never found one. I have found one dead deer in the woods, but you could tell it was near a road and got hit by a car and died right off the side of the road. So I got lucky. But I'm just saying that some of this stuff with Bigfoot, UFOs, orbs is maybe connected. The 3i Atlas stuff, the moon mission, the disclosure coming out. We have a lot going on. And it is good if we can debunk, like Patty, the Patterson-Gimlin tape of Bigfoot being fake. That's great. But I believe that we still have Bigfoot out there. There are creatures that we have found that thought to be extinct for millions of years. The coelacanth, and then we find that fish, a big-ass fish, and a few years ago, I think it was 2014 or 15, we found a 25-foot whale that is a beaked whale that science has never seen before. So there's things out there that we have no idea about. And that's not just in the ocean. There are animals on land. We find like 180 different new species every year. It's 14% of our animal life on this planet has been documented. 14%. That's not a lot. We have no idea about our own planet or the bottom of the ocean or any of that. But yeah, I might go out tonight for an investigation, see if I can get the same results with the disembodied footsteps at Fort Monroe. I just had to talk about this a little bit. And I have fun looking into all this stuff. I mean, Mothman, Bigfoot. Some of this stuff is really fun and out there. I don't believe in everything. Obviously, I have experiences that I can't explain. I've seen shadow figures. I've had a voice in my ear. I've had footsteps walk up to me. Ghost experience, UFO experience. I've seen a red orb in Yorktown in Virginia not long ago. These drones now that are in the military base down in Louisiana, they're saying drones. We keep bringing up drones, and like over New Jersey, those drones, I don't think they're all drones. If the military can't just get rid of them or shoot them down or even detect them sometimes, they're not normal drones. These are not always going to be just little buzzing drones flying around. There's so many videos out there and pieces of evidence to prove that we have non-human intelligence and orbs, UFO, UAP, USO. It doesn't make sense what we're getting. A lot of this information gets mixed up into a fake world of just overhype, people trying to get money, people trying to fake stuff to get famous, 15 minutes. Yeah, but I hope you enjoy these. I didn't even think about doing this really. I just seen this stuff last night and decided I was going to talk about it. But keep your eyes out. I might go live tonight randomly at Fort Monroe and do another investigation, because tonight's probably going to be my only warm night. You guys have a great day. I'll put some links in my comments here, and you can check out some of the videos for the debunks of Travis Walton and the Patterson-Gimlin tape of Bigfoot. I really hope you guys have a great one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing, doing, just hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you tonight if I go live, which I'm thinking I'm gonna. Have a good one. Peace out. And they live. Came here for two things.